Hey, what's up? Peace and blessings. This is Jovhannah. I'm also known as the Spiritual Love Healer. I am a tarot reader, energy healer, and coach, generally working with women, helping them to return to a space of love, wellness, wholeness, inner peace, and all of those beautiful energies that we need in our lives. So it's been quite some time since I've made a video, so I wanted to do that and just kind of express like what's been going on, what's been happening, and what's coming up for me. So during the winter, it was some serious like hibernation time, and I'm thankful for that because that allowed me to really see what's working, what's not working, what feels good, you know, where do I need to make changes and all of that stuff. So I realized that where I am now, like I just can't grow any further. And I keep thinking about, I have these chakra wisdom cards, and one of the first cards in the set is geranium. And it kind of is about, you know, uprooting yourself and thriving like under any conditions. And sometimes as also it talks about like our roots, right? The root of the plant is how it gets all of its nutrients, how it anchors itself and connects into the earth. And if your root system isn't strong, if your soil is not nutritious, then you'll fail to thrive, right? So, and someone kind of asked me, like, you know, what's been going on? How have you been feeling? And the best way to describe it is like a wilted flower, right? Like I could feel the sun on me, but I just did not feel like connected. I did not feel that I was getting everything that I needed. So I was like, you know, if I'm not in an environment where I can thrive, then I need to uproot myself. I need to plant myself somewhere where I will be able to thrive. And so that's some of what I have been really feeling out, is like, what is the next step for me, for my family, for my business. I even like took my locks out and reinstalled them. So this is set number 3. Don't worry, because I'm not taking them out again. But I was making shifts in so many different areas of my life and decided that it's time for me to move. So I am in the process of relocating, moving to a new state, which is going to be exciting. I'm leaning towards Georgia. I don't know, something about it has been calling me there. So I'm just kind of letting my intuition guide me, and really feeling out this energy of, you know, what is going on and all these little minor shifts and changes. So earlier in February, I did the Spiritual Love Week, and the theme was shifting. And what I realized as I was talking with each speaker, and I feel like the women that were involved in Spiritual Love Week were involved for a specific reason. Like there was something specific that they were either teaching me or reminding me, or showing me. And so it was all very illuminating and inspirational and just heartwarming to me, right? So as I'm listening to these women and I was reflecting back on 2018. So 2018 was like, so much stuff has happened in 2018. And I realized that that was the year of the shift. That was when all of these things started changing to push me in a specific direction. And I didn't understand why some of the things I was going through was happening. Like I wasn't able to really show up in my business the way I wanted. I wasn't able to receive, you know, the support that I was looking for, that I needed. I wasn't really connecting with people. I had all of this stuff like bubbling up inside of me. And it all got to the point where, you know, it just helped me to realize that it's time for me to go so that I can grow. And so the shift has already taken place. And because it's so subtle, we do not notice it. We don't notice how these little things come along and push us this way or push us that way. And for me, I think that because I wasn't noticing that it was time for me to go, because I have so much time freedom now. I have the freedom to move somewhere else and relocate my business. And it's like I was trying to stay in the area that I'm familiar with, but this area has not been, it hasn't, what's the word? It hasn't been loving. Like it doesn't excite me. It doesn't excite me. There's no more like excitement here for me. And so it's like I wasn't realizing that. And so there was this big blow up, and then I'm like, you know what? I don't belong here. I don't belong here. And I think that everything happens for a reason. So I'm always grateful for every lesson, every opportunity. But I just really felt that, I needed to go through this so I could see that it is time for me to go. It's time for me to grow and to know and to trust that I will thrive, I will survive, my business will do well if I'm in a space where I'm happy. And so one of the things that I wanted to share is that we cling to things so much that we don't even realize when it's time to move forward, when it's time to move on. Like a lot of people don't ever leave their state, their city. Some people I know, especially older people, they've never been outside of their state. So I know some people who have never been to the beach. And the beautiful thing about North Carolina is, 3 to 4 hours to the east, you can get to the beach. 3 to 4 hours to the west, you can get to the mountains. So it's a very beautiful place. And I know some people who have lived here their whole lives and they've never been to the beach. They've never been to the mountains. So I think it's important that we remember to go and to allow ourselves to grow and not to stay stuck or stagnant because something is familiar, because that gets us in a state of complacency and a state of settling, and it's no fun. It's not really a good way to live because you're not living, you're just existing. And existing can seem so similar to living until you realize that there's more. There's so much more to you, so much more to life, so much more to experience. If we just go on the other side, if we just do something completely different. And so that's kind of where I am and what I'm doing. And I'm looking forward to it. It's a little unnerving, but it's also extremely exciting. And I know that this is what I'm supposed to be doing. I keep, getting confirmation after confirmation and really just trusting myself and believing in these next steps as they unfold. So that's something that I wanted to share. As far as like business wise and, doing readings and doing healings, I will definitely continue like my work. I love the work that I do for myself, for others. And so that's something that's definitely going to continue. I'm pretty sure it's going to shift a little bit how I go about doing it. But I definitely will still continue to see clients. And I just want to really open up and expand. So I'm also leaving room for expansion to happen. Because I'm sure things will change. It's going to take a while for me to even like move, to really get settled, to get myself and my daughter acclimated. So business, I guess, will take somewhat of a back seat, which it has been, especially this month. It's been more of a backseat thing. It hasn't been something that I've been actively working on. I've even been very dormant like on social media. So one of the things that I do want to do, and of course like that's part of me making this video, is to start re-engaging on social media, to start creating new content and just reaching out and sharing, my voice, my knowledge, my skills in any way that I can. One thing that I've noticed too is that I just forgot what I was gonna say. What was it? Okay, so never mind. I forgot. But if I remember, I will share that again. I wanted to pull a card now that I'm sitting here. Let's see. I haven't used this deck in a while. This would be a really great to see where we are, right? The Fool in the Tarot is all about journeys, taking a new step, taking a leap of faith in the right direction. And so I have this oracle card deck called the Fool's Wisdom, which is all about the different types of fools there are. And it just gives like really good guidance. So I think this would be an exciting time to see what wisdom the Fool has for us in this journey of our life. I went to the park and walked around today. It's quite warm here, a little wet from all the rain, but still today was a very warm day. And I started, start seeing signs of like life budding, because we're getting ready to go into spring. And it just reminded me that, during the winter time, right, the ground is really hard. It's not necessarily ideal for planting because the ground is hard. And so it just reminded me that if you're in a harsh environment, right, it's going to be hard for you to plant seeds. It's going to be hard for you to grow, for you to thrive. And just, going back to like really putting yourself in some soft, nutrient-rich soil that will allow your roots to grow and to thrive, and for you to get what you need to live your best life. And that's what I'm doing. It's really about roots, like putting down my roots. And when I think about roots and the root chakra and where we draw our strength, where our foundation comes from, it comes from family. So like really also, I spent time like exploring my beliefs, like what beliefs do I need to release? Do I need to change? What traditions do I want to establish? And what do I want my foundation to be? So I think it's really beautiful because I'm going into a rebirth. It's a new level of evolution for myself, and I'm just really excited and really grateful. So the card that I pulled here, and I think this was kind of timely, was the Ignorant Fool. And with this card, it's about you don't know, right? You don't have all of the answers, and ignorance is what's guiding you. It doesn't mean you're stupid. It doesn't mean that you're doing anything bad. It just means that you're being influenced in a way that's not really letting you, you don't have all of the answers or all of the pieces. You're not using your higher mind. You're not thinking clearly about things. And sometimes when we make steps or moves or decisions, like we think we know everything, but we don't. And that's okay, because we can always learn. And one of the things about me is like, I'm a lifelong learner. I will never say that I know absolutely everything. I do know a lot about a little though, and I'm always continuously learning. So with me, potentially moving to a new state, like I'm researching the different areas. I'm looking at the cost of living. What is this area like? I'm really trying to get a feel for each of the different areas that I'm interested in, so I can learn as much as I can before making a decision that I might not be happy with. So, and I think it's beautiful. It says that life is an endless classroom, and we're all students here, so it's natural that we're not going to know everything. And sometimes what we think is true is not true, because we're acting on either old information, outdated beliefs, which kind of goes back into our roots and our foundation. What is it that we believe? So if you haven't spent time recently exploring who you are, who you want to believe, what you believe, why, and all of that, I would encourage you to do so, especially before we go into this next season of spring, because I know for me, it's really important for me to start shedding that dead weight, right? Releasing the winter so that I can spring forward like a flower and really bloom and blossom. So that's kind of what I've been working on recently. And I'm excited. There's so many things that I've learned that I need to share. And I don't always like come and share like everything I know, especially on social media, because I'm a fairly private person. But I also know that I have been called to share my light. And in order for me to do that, that requires me to tell more about the darkness and what led me back to this path and how it all comes together. So you'll definitely be seeing more of me. And I'm really excited about what's happening in my life. For one of the things I do want to start doing, and I think once I move and get settled, I'll have more time to do it, but I want to start doing more readings. Um, I really love doing readings. I just don't always have the time to do them on a regular schedule for you all. But that's something that I'm hoping is going to be changing in the next few months, so that I can spread my spiritual love tarot magic here too. So thank you for watching. Please leave your comments, like, share, subscribe, and I will see you again soon. Peace.